Hey guys, what's up? We're here for the TheYugiohCouncil. I've got like a little too much stuff. And we're talking post-Primal Origins today on Coffee Time. If you don't know what Coffee Time is, and you're new to the channel, it's the discussion video we do pretty much every Monday, and we finally got it out on time, hopefully. The reason I say hopefully is because my sleep schedule has been hell. But anyway, let's go straight into the video. Let's look at the current format right now. Lots of diversity, right? But there's one top deck. Well, at least to me it seems that way. It's Bujin. Seems to be topping pretty much everywhere. Now, Bujin wasn't a problem post, a few months ago. It was Mermail, Firefist, Gear, and 40% Gear. But then Bujins found out how to take down Gear. Somehow. It's like, I beat you, you beat me kind of thing. But with Primal Origins, Bujins now have 7 eyes. I'm going to pull up the picture right now of the new Honest, if you would. It is a graveyard Honest, which they can banish out through Yumano's effect to send it to the graveyard. Is it me, or is Konami smoking something when they made this card? It's just... They just recently topped in Australia, and now they have 7 honors. But Bujins aren't the only thing we have to worry about meta-wise. There's still Medolce and some form. Because you could say artifacts won't be a threat until we get the full Crumbly support. Picture of Nebula Disc. It is not coming in Primal Origins, thankfully for the time being. But it also brings us to separate formats, which I mentioned last week. This whole thing is going to get nuts come next week, because that's when the sneak peek is. You'll start seeing it at your locals a little bit. I doubt there'll be 3 Angeli, but you get what I mean. Sneak peeks this weekend coming up, and the week after is the full release. So next Friday is when this whole thing goes down, where the Angelis and the artifacts and the rest of the Bujin support take over. So what happens to Dragon Rulers and Mermails? I still think Dragon Rulers would be there in some form, and Mermails are just the deck that never really seems to die. So it's kind of hard to say where Mermails will go. But with Dragon Rulers, it's kind of obvious that, well, they'll still do something. And then there's the one deck that no one really is going to look at, or some people will, is Gear. We don't know what Gear is going to do with this kind of ever-shifting format. So, and then you have to throw in Dark Worlds can also top because they can control the graveyard from Bujin. They don't really need to summon too many monsters at one time. But can Dark Worlds come out on top of 7 Honest? That's the question. Even with the power of Dark Smog, will they have enough force and power to deal with all that? That's one of the biggest issues. And what we're probably going to see out of Primal Origins is Artifact everywhere. That would be like week 1. Week 2 would be Medolce. Week 3 would probably be like Gear. Week 4 would be like Bujin. Week 5 would be like anti-meta stun. Throwing them mind drains from them cranes and shit. Or just throw down Banisher of the Radiance. I still think that's going to be a great card for this whole format. But it's going to be an ever-shifting meta. And I've said that last time with the power creep thing. The biggest issue we're going to see out of Primal Origins is that there is going to be so much diversity, it's going to be ridiculous to side until we find one universal side that works. On top of that, a little over a month later, we get Lightsworn. And if you don't think Lightsworn are going to be a thing, you have another thing coming to you. It's going to get dumb, it's going to get retarded, and it's going to be hilarious. Now, if you're hoping to play that Ghost Trick deck, I'm sorry, they're really not going to do much. I feel like a rogue Ghost Trick Monarch deck may top them. But with artifacts and Dolce and just Bujin having 7 eyes, I still can't get over that. And then someone's going to say, what about Scraps? See, here's the thing about Scraps. They won't be able to top for the time being until the next format, because July 11th is when Supply Unit comes out, and that's been confirmed inside those decks. Just so that's clear, it's been confirmed. Now, the thing with Supply Unit is it makes the deck fully functional. but it makes a lot of other decks fully functional. Now, July 11th, that's still part of the format, right? July 13th, the format shifts. Unless I'm mistaken, there's no real tournaments around that time, so maybe for Nationals. Just maybe. I'm not sure the date of Nationals, just maybe. Depends what Konami does with the ban list, how they affect their love child Bujin. And then there's still the rogue deck that is known as Noble Knights, but again, no one take offense. They don't have enough consistency to fully get there yet. They have a lot of great cards, but the biggest problem I still feel when it comes to playing Noble Knights is that Murad is the card that sets everything off. But if there was more Rhoda, like Noble Knight themed Rhoda, the deck would have consistency to top, no question about it, because it laughs at every destruction effect out there. It really does. I think Bujin would still be a hard matchup for them, though. So what am I saying? Am I saying Bujin are going to top, or Medolce are going to top, or Artifacts are going to be top? Honestly, I think it's going to be an ever-shifting door. Artifacts will take out pretty much everything, Medolce take out Artifacts, and then Medolce could probably take out Bujin because they don't target. Depending if they can get over what Bujin put in front of them, which I don't think is going to be too hard. A lot of people are saying, we're not going to run an MST. I think that's wrong, because here's the thing. Then Bujin can just sit here with Vanny's Emptiness, Kaiser Coliseum, and just laugh at you. I'm just saying. Now, for Dolce's, just run a 3 MST, throw down a Max C, summon a Hoot Cake, let's do this. Or if I have Angeli, let's do it that way. I feel, honestly, Medolce will be the deck that takes everything. And that's not me being biased, or me being played, having it played against me. But till we get to Shag Dolls, I think it's going to be Medolce. Lightsworn are still up there with the top contenders once we get the full support, but it's not going to be there yet. So to wrap this whole video up before my camera decides to die, in conclusion, I think there's going to be 3 top decks. With the possibility of Anti-Meta Stun and Dark Worlds beginning up there, it's hard to say. I think it's going to be Medolce, Artifacts, Bujin. I want you guys leave in the comments what you think about that and what you think will be the top deck. Honestly, to me, I think it's going to be ever shifting. It comes down to the players and the side deck and everything. There is one thing I didn't mention though. YCS Philly is next Saturday. Now, why does YCS Philly matter? Because we're talking meta, and it's going to be the first YCS of, well, the brand new format. Now, we're not talking ban lists, we're talking new set wise. I don't know if people have enough time to pick up the Angelis, because those things are going to be expensive. I don't know if people are going to have enough time to pick up all the artifacts. So again, they're going to be expensive. I do think a lot of people also have Bujins and Gyogyo, and they'll be ready to go. They'll just laugh at everything. Not sound that way. Now, if the off chance enough people do get their Angelis and their artifacts, I think we're going to see them top. But again, I think I'm going to see them top regardless. It's just, there's a one day, okay, set comes out that Friday, and then by the time most people are in Philadelphia for the YCS Philly, and I know a lot of New York players are going. Good luck to all of you. Let's show them what New York can do. Especially you, Alex, that Trap Tricks Nightmare Hole. But I don't honestly, even he said, he's one of our subscribers, is that don't know, how many people can be able to pick up the deck, so it's kind of hard to determine, hey, are Bujins the thing now, or if Noble Knight's top, are they the thing? Kind of hard to say that, because it's just it's going to be such a crazy freaking YCS, and everyone's going to have their eyes on it. And then there's one deck I didn't mention, is Trap Tricks, because they just poop on everything. But again, those 7 Honest, Jesus. If you don't know what the 7 Honest is, it's the new Bujin that's in the graveyard, the Crane, and then Honest. That's 7 Honest. It's dumb. So dumb. Konami, why do you do this? And the fact that Yamato searches out 6 of those, so bad. No, honestly, I'm not salty or nothing. I just think it's kind of dumb. Stop playing with that. I think it's kind of dumb. Camera bad charger thing, stupid thing. I think it's kind of dumb, honestly, that they have 7 freaking Honest I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. I'm not saying that I want Medolce to have 7 eyes. Medolce got like 7 ways of spam. Artifacts got 20. Just so it's clear, don't use Artifacts Unleashed. That card's bad. I'm sorry, just saying. Like it's not really gonna help in any of the matchups. You have more important cards to play. Thunder King Ryo is a good option as always. Max D too. Max D is gonna be the big card that's gonna be played the whole the whole rest of the game. But I'm starting to ramble a little bit, like just go off on things. I just want to get every little detail in there. So if you guys like this coffee time, please take a second just to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you thought this video was worth your time, then please hit that subscribe button. Check out our channel because we have about 400 plus uploads. I'm going to eventually take a day to update all the playlists so that way everything's there for you guys. But the problem with that is I'm just super busy, and I think that's not going to happen until September because we're going to be getting the monster computer, and that allows me to render and like just do 20 things at once. So I think that's going to be around the time we do it. So again, if you guys like what you saw and you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. And if you got something to say, just leave it in the comments below. Deck requests, whatever, just leave it in the comments below. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. It's like 5 in the morning. I'm going to go have breakfast. I'll catch you next video. Peace.